Do you ever look in the mirror and wonder if time has eroded your pull? Most men carry that question in silence as the years stack up. Youth gets the loudest applause, but maturity holds the real power. You are likely far more magnetic than you realize, not because of superficial tricks, but because of the grounded authority you have built over decades. Here are 10 unmistakable signs that you are an exceptionally attractive older man. Sign 1. Younger women naturally unwind around you. Pay close attention to how quickly the atmosphere shifts the moment you walk into a room. You will notice that women, especially younger women, instantly drop their guard when they are near you. The barista at your favorite coffee spot doesn't just hand over your cup and move to the next customer. She lingers, strikes up a quick conversation, and smiles with genuine warmth. A younger colleague in the office stays by your desk a little longer than necessary, leaning in as you speak. A friend's adult daughter listens to your stories with real, undivided focus, rather than staring at her phone. These interactions are far from random coincidences. They are direct reactions to the steady, grounded energy you carry. Younger women navigate a dating landscape full of frantic, insecure, and overeager energy from men their own age. Guys in their 20s and early 30s are often desperate to impress, constantly trying to prove their worth, dominate conversations, or push boundaries. That endless noise creates tension and puts women on edge. Your presence offers the exact opposite: instant psychological safety. You move without rush, speak without needing to prove a point, and occupy space with complete ease. You aren't desperately seeking validation, and that lack of hidden motive is deeply comforting. Your calm demeanor acts like an anchor in a chaotic world. When a woman feels safe enough to lower her defenses, laugh freely, and simply be herself around you, it isn't just polite friendliness. It is the foundation of powerful, effortless attraction. Sign 2. People notice your precision and style. When people compliment your fitted jacket, notice your clean haircut, or ask about your signature scent, they aren't just complimenting your taste in clothes. They are recognizing that you command immediate respect. As men age, many fall into the trap of letting themselves go, sliding into baggy, outdated outfits and indifferent grooming. When you refuse to take that path, your intentional presentation sets you miles apart from the crowd. Every sharp detail of your appearance communicates high self-respect and clear intention. A well-fitted shirt, manicured nails, clean shoes, and a subtle, high-quality cologne send a loud, unspoken message before you ever open your mouth. It shows the world that you haven't surrendered to time. You have simply refined who you are. You don't wear flashy, loud trends designed for teenagers to chase attention. Instead, you wear classic, tailored choices that highlight your maturity and presence. Women notice these small details instantly because grooming is a clear window into your character. A man who takes pride in how he presents himself demonstrates discipline, emotional order, and self-worth. Instinctively, a woman views your personal care as a reflection of how you navigate the rest of your life. When she sees that you value yourself enough to handle your own image with precision and pride, she naturally assumes you will bring that same level of care, respect, and high standard to a relationship. Sign 3. Her gaze lingers just a second longer. Eye contact that stretches past the brief boundary of polite etiquette is never a random occurrence. When you are sitting at a quiet coffee shop, walking through a crowded lobby, or enjoying a dinner event, pay attention to how long women hold your gaze. A standard, polite glance lasts only a fraction of a second before someone looks away. But when a woman holds your eyes for an extra beat, lets a soft smile touch her face, or looks back at you after walking past, she is sending a direct, silent signal of intrigue. She isn't just taking in the clothes you are wearing or the way your hair is styled. She is actively reading your physical presence and decoding your energy. Women are deeply intuitive when it comes to body language, and they notice the quiet authority in how you move through a room. You aren't darting your eyes around nervously, fidgeting with your hands, or shifting uncomfortably in your seat. Instead, you sit with complete composure, walk with a calm, unhurried stride, and comfortably occupy the space around you. That rare combination of unbothered self-assurance and quiet strength creates a magnetic pull. That extra second of eye contact is her unspoken way of pausing her day to acknowledge your charisma. It is an invitation without words, a clear sign that your confidence has caught her attention and pulled her into your orbit before a single phrase is ever spoken. Sign 4. People line up to ask your advice. Take note of how often people seek out your guidance when life gets complicated. Whether it is a younger colleague at work navigating a tough career decision, a friend asking how to handle a delicate personal situation, or a woman asking for your perspective on her life goals, this constant demand for your input is a massive sign of respect. People do not bring their real problems, vulnerabilities, or doubts to just anyone. They bring them to you because your presence projects an unshakable internal anchor. You have lived through ups and downs, faced difficult challenges, made tough decisions, and built real-world experience over time. That history isn't just stored in your head. It shows up in your tone of voice, your patient listening, and your measured, thoughtful answers. You don't panic when things go wrong, and you don't rush to give cheap, surface-level reactions. Instead, you offer grounded, clear judgment that cuts through the noise and provides real clarity. For women who value long-term stability and emotional depth, this specific quality is incredibly magnetic. In a world full of impulsive behavior and loud opinions, a man who remains calm, wise, and reliable stands out effortlessly. True wisdom and emotional strength are the ultimate aphrodisiacs, because they prove that you are not just a man of words, but a pillar of genuine power and peace. Sign 5. You hold space without trying to own it. Notice how you handle a crowded room compared to most men around you. Men who lack real confidence feel an endless urge to dominate every conversation, interrupt others, and force themselves to be the center of attention just to feel important. They talk over people, make loud claims, and scramble for validation, which instantly smells like deep-seated insecurity. A magnetic, high-value older man does the complete opposite. He sits back comfortably, stays relaxed, and lets his sheer presence do the heavy lifting. You no longer feel the childish need to prove your worth, defend your ego, or convince a single person in that room of who you are. This total absence of desperation creates an irresistible aura of complete control and self-mastery. When you enter a space, your stillness actually commands far more attention than someone else's noisy performance. You listen intently, observe everything with a calm smile, and speak only when you actually have something meaningful to say. Because your words are deliberate and rare, people naturally lean in closer to hear them. Your quiet, unshakable composure acts like a grounding force in a hyperactive, anxious world where everyone is screaming for attention. Women notice this dynamic immediately because it shows you possess deep internal power that doesn't rely on anyone else's approval, making your calm confidence endlessly intriguing and effortlessly masculine. Sign 6. Your physical vitality precedes you. You do not need massive, bulging muscles or the body of a 20-year-old fitness model to project raw physical strength and masculine energy. If friends, coworkers, or women casually remark that you look sharp, energized, active, or in great shape for your age, they are picking up on something far deeper than mere appearance. They are seeing your daily discipline. Physical vitality isn't just about how big your biceps are. It shows up in your erect posture, your brisk and purposeful stride, the sharp clarity in your eyes, and the smooth, easy way you move through space without dragging your feet or slumping over. That vibrant physical energy communicates strength, stamina, and long-term vitality before you even utter a word. It tells every person who looks at you that you take your health seriously, respect your body, and actively refuse to let time wear you down prematurely. A man who takes care of his physical engine demonstrates to the entire world that he values his life, respects his time, and holds high standards for his future. Women pick up on these biological and evolutionary cues instinctively. To a woman, a mature man who maintains sharp physical vitality represents reliability, protection, self-control, and enduring passion, qualities that stand out as exceptionally attractive in a sea of men who have given up on themselves. Sign 7. She laughs readily at your humor. When a woman laughs easily, warmly, and frequently around you, even at your simplest, driest, or corniest jokes, you need to understand that this is rarely just polite social etiquette. Laughter is the absolute fastest biological indicator of emotional alignment, comfort, and safety. When a person is nervous, guarded, or indifferent, their humor response is tense and forced. But when a woman genuinely giggles, smiles broadly, or drops her head back in reaction to something you said, her guard has completely dissolved in your presence. What makes your humor so potent as a mature man is that you don't use it like a weapon or a desperate plea for attention. You aren't cracking jokes out of insecurity, nor are you relying on cheap put-downs or arrogant sarcasm to get a reaction. Your humor comes from a place of relaxed emotional maturity, self-awareness, and the ability to not take life too seriously. That effortless lightheartedness is incredibly magnetic. When she shares that continuous, genuine warmth with you, she isn't just amused by your words, she is actively signaling deep mental and physical compatibility, showing that your presence makes her feel light, happy, and entirely at ease. Sign 8. You pick up on subtle body language. Attraction in mature years almost never looks like the loud, aggressive, or overt flirting of youth. Instead, it speaks through a quiet, refined language of microgestures and deliberate body positioning that most men completely miss. Pay close attention to the small things: a fleeting, gentle touch on your forearm during a point in conversation, a subtle twirl or adjustment of her hair while looking at you, or the way she tilts her body toward yours even in a crowded room. You might notice her subtly mirroring your physical posture, crossing her legs when you cross yours, or leaning forward the exact moment you rest your elbows on the table. She might also find subtle reasons to anchor herself near your physical space during group gatherings, standing just a few inches closer than necessary or lingering near your circle. Women communicate deep interest through body language long before they ever translate those feelings into spoken words. When she lowers those subtle physical barriers, she is sending nonverbal green lights across the room. These microgestures are quiet, elegant invitations designed specifically for an observant, confident man to notice, take charge, and step comfortably into her orbit. Sign 9. She retains the details you share. When a woman remembers the exact way you take your coffee, a passing mention of a favorite childhood memory, or a book recommendation you dropped into conversation weeks ago, understand that you have her absolute, undivided attention. In a fast-paced world overflowing with constant distractions and endless information, people naturally filter out background noise. Remembering minor, seemingly insignificant details requires active mental effort and genuine interest. It isn't a random trick of memory. It is a clear sign that your words carry real weight with her. When she brings up those small details later, she is showing you that she doesn't just hear you when you speak. She actively listens, processes, and values your input. She is intentionally building a detailed mental map of your personality, your likes, and your history. This level of retention happens only when a woman feels an emotional anchor to you. She is mentally storing those pieces of information because you matter to her, using those subtle callbacks to signal that she pays attention to your world and wants to build a deeper connection. Sign 10. She deliberately clears space for you. Time is the single most valuable resource anyone possesses, and how a woman chooses to spend hers reveals everything about her true priorities. When a woman repeatedly creates opportunities to share physical or emotional space with you, it is never by accident. She might arrive early to a gathering she knows you are attending, ask for your help on a minor task she could easily handle herself, or show a sudden, keen interest in your daily routine. This is proximity attraction in its purest form, the natural urge to place oneself near someone who feels safe, strong, and compelling. She is deliberately restructuring her schedule and clearing away friction just to be in your environment. By turning small interactions into shared moments, she is actively manufacturing reasons for your paths to cross. When a woman consistently makes room for you in her day, she is sending a direct, nonverbal message that your presence is valuable to her. She is taking the initiative to open the door, waiting for a confident, grounded man to step through and take the lead towards something much deeper.